we don't do pop for the sake of doing pop, but we have the potential to become pop artists, you know. Not just being abstract for the sake of being abstract. It's not about that. It's about really taking the fundamental foundation of soul, R&B, hip hop, rock, all those things that basically came from a black or African diaspora, and putting it in a perspective where it can be refreshed, so to speak. You know, give you a little bit of a better spin on, or not better, but just different, something you're not accustomed to seeing every single day, especially in the marketplace now where, for the most part, all the records are very similar. I don't want to say they're the same because even though there's not that much music and they sound like commercials or jingles, some of that stuff is really clever and it deserves to get the respect that it's getting. But there's a lot of other musicians out here who are still trying to give you a lot more of an emotional and honest and different view of the urban experience. It's not all about honeys and guns, and well, it is always about honeys, but not guns.
The way I see it, man, is number one, the Telecommunications Act basically allowed, you know, corporations to become these behemoth companies by, you know, allowing people to own more than just a certain amount of, let's say, radio properties, stations. And so here comes Clear Channel, here comes, you know, Viacom, et cetera, and they buy up all these stations and they create these networks. And so rather than the DJ who back in the, you know, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, and, you know, in the 80s as well, but the 80s things really started to get a little bit tight, but it was still like, 80s was like the last bastion of possibility for, you know, DJs and their ability to influence the culture on commercial radio, terrestrial radio. And then the 90s came around with the Telecommunications Act, and it just kind of threw some grenades in that whole mix. And, you know, the DJ became more of a personality that drove the sort of lifestyle marketing piece for whatever the brand of that radio station was, whatever the gimmick was or the concept is for a radio station. Usually the DJs fit the mold for trying to, you know, nurture and garner that audience or whatever their numbers might be. So even though there are hits on radio, and hits still, you know, it is what it is. It's not even top 40 anymore. It's like top 10. You hear same 20 songs or less in an hour on most radio stations. The DJ can't get any play anymore because the payola thing is left more to promotional companies that work with record labels, that work with program directors who answer to, you know, usually one, you know, regional, either West Coast, East Coast, you know, Southern, you know, Northern executive who's telling all these program directors what to play. It's not about the DJs having any say anymore in what to play. So the hits are still there, but it's gone on to the higher-ups, per se, the people that aren't really music people, because before this time, most DJs got in the game because they liked music. Nowadays, you know, people end up on the radio because they're looking for a way to get on television.